South Africa have famously never won the World Cup, but since their readmission to the international game in 1991, they have regularly featured in some of the most memorable finishes in the tournament's history. Now though, there's a very real threat that they won't even be at the 2023 World Cup. How did one of the modern game's powerhouses, who can boast the likes of Quinton de Kock, Rassie van der Dusen and Kagiso Rabada in their lineup, and are currently 6th in the ODI team rankings, end up in a position where their World Cup participation is in jeopardy? This is where the ODI World Cup Super League comes in. The ODI World Cup Super League is a tournament introduced by the ICC to give more context to bilateral ODI series. It essentially acts as a World Cup qualification tournament. 13 teams, the 12 full member nations plus the Netherlands, each contest 8 3-match series over 3 years, with the top 7 sides, as well as host India, qualifying directly for the 2023 World Cup. The other 5 sides then go into a separate World Cup qualifier alongside 5 more associate nations to determine the final 2 teams for the 10-team tournament. With just over a year to go to the World Cup, we've got a pretty good idea of who's going to be there. As well as host India, England, Bangladesh, Pakistan, New Zealand and Australia are all pretty much there, while Afghanistan are near certainties of making that top 8 as well. At the other end of the table, Netherlands and Zimbabwe need miracles to qualify, leaving 4 of Sri Lanka, Ireland, West Indies and South Africa fighting over the 2 remaining qualification spots. But hang on, didn't South Africa beat World Cup favourites India 3-0 and then draw away to World Cup holders England early this year? How are they in this mess? Well, first of all, those 2 series where South Africa fielded sides close to first choice were not part of the ODI World Cup Super League. In the Super League, they have lost series at home to Pakistan and Bangladesh, away to Sri Lanka and drawn away to Ireland. They have rarely been at full strength. Quinton de Kock, now retired from Test cricket, has only played 5 of their 13 Super League games. Star quicks Anrik Nortje and Lungi Ngidi have only played 9 and 6 games respectively, often leaving South Africa fielding an attack well short of their best. For example, South Africa were without all of de Kock, Miller, Rabada, Nortje and Ngidi for an ODI against Pakistan in 2021 after the quintet left the series early to depart for the IPL. De Kock, Miller and Ngidi all missed South Africa's 2-1 series defeat in Sri Lanka. Ngidi was taking time off for personal reasons, Miller was nursing a hamstring injury, while de Kock was simply rested for a series that affected their chances of World Cup qualification. With their hopes for automatic World Cup qualification already in the balance, then came their biggest blow. In July this year, South Africa forfeited a 3-match series against Australia scheduled to take place in Australia early next year. Why did they do this? Essentially, to launch their own T20 franchise tournament, something that Cricket South Africa view as a top priority. Feletsi Maseki, Cricket South Africa's chief executive, said, "The players are disappointed that the ODIs in Australia will not happen, but they understand the reasons. A lot of people are investing a lot of money in the T20 League, and we have to give it the best chance to succeed." Lawson Naidu, Cricket South Africa's board chair, told ESPN Cricinfo, "We need all our top players to satisfy team owners and guarantee the integrity of the league. Given our situation on the points table, we knew it would be a tough ask to qualify. We would have liked the opportunity to automatically qualify, but if we have to go to the qualifiers, that is what we have to do. The players know what's at stake. A World Cup is the pinnacle of a career." Maseki said that South Africa not qualifying for the World Cup would be a disaster, but also that they are still backing themselves to qualify. So why do South Africa view the success of their new T20 League as their top priority? Effectively, because unless India tours South Africa, they do not make money from hosting cricket. In 2019, the year before the pandemic, Cricket South Africa hosted both England and Australia and still lost money. The theory is that by promoting and ensuring the financial success of their own T20 League, they can create a reliable revenue stream. It does, though, open the previously unimaginable possibility of South Africa not even being at the World Cup. They have 8 fixtures remaining, 3 away to India, 3 at home to England, and 2 postponed home games that have yet to be rearranged against the Netherlands. So what do South Africa need to qualify automatically for the World Cup? Well, they currently sit 11th in the table, but they have 8 games to play. That's more than Sri Lanka, Ireland and West Indies have. West Indies, in 7th as it stands, have completed their Cricket World Cup Super League fixtures and have 88 points to their names. South Africa, with 49 points, will need 4 wins to overtake them. assuming they don't incur any penalty points. However, Ireland with 68 points could finish on 98 if they clean sweep Bangladesh at home next summer, a tally the Proteas would need 5 wins to surpass. Sri Lanka with 62 points and 6 games to play are South Africa's likeliest rivals. Sri Lanka have Afghanistan at home and New Zealand away to play, so automatic qualification is in their hands, but far from certain. And should they end up in the qualifier, there is no guarantee they'll make it out. Back in 2018, West Indies' experience in the qualifier was far from comfortable, losing to Afghanistan and only beating Scotland by 5 runs on the DLS method, and even that only came after a questionable umpiring error shortly before the rain fell. Afghanistan, near sure shots to qualify this time, lost their first 3 games in the tournament and needed Nepal to beat Hong Kong to even get past the first stage of the qualification process. So, a World Cup without South Africa? It's not likely, but it's far from impossible.